During these times of COVID-19, we know the most vulnerable in our community continue to be affected. Joining me now is Danielle MacNeil from Maison Baldwin House. Welcome, Danielle.
Thanks for having me, Gabe.
All right, so first of all, Danielle, let's talk a little bit, obviously in this era of isolation and quarantine and physical distancing, those who are experiencing domestic violence can often be the hardest hit. So how is this affecting them from your perspective?
Well, absolutely. People who are being isolated at home are at a greater risk of being victims of domestic violence. The fear and anger and anxiety of the entire COVID-19 situation sets the stage for abuse right away. Those kind of negative feelings can cause those prone to rage to explode. And once you add in the financial stress and possible job loss, health concerns, and being isolated in quarantine, we're just increasing the capacity for abuse to occur. And what's scarier for the victims now is the thought that they may not even have a moment alone to reach out for help.
All right, but obviously reaching out for help is super important. So what is your advice?
Our advice right now is to reach out any way you can. So we do run a 24/7 crisis line that's manned locally. If somebody wants to reach it, the number is 613-938-2958, or they can call toll-free at 1-800-267-1744. And there's always somebody here to pick up the line. People can come to the shelter. We're limiting non-essential visits, but if somebody's coming looking for somewhere to stay, they certainly can stop in. We just have a few extra precautions at the door.
And of course, that's absolutely essential to have the cautions, but it's fantastic that that the doors are still open for those in need. Now, for those that maybe feel like they can't leave, what are some tips to get through this right now?
I mean, really, it's about staying safe and, having a safety plan in place, knowing where you can go, when you can leave, who you can reach out to, what community resources are available. We certainly don't want anyone staying in situations where they are unsafe, but we know right now that might be the reality for people. And, we are expecting a surge of people coming to the shelter, not only during the quarantine, but after, because we know that things may be happening and abuse may be occurring during the quarantine, but people still may not leave for days or weeks or months after. So we know this is a long-term increase that we're going to be seeing on our end.
And I think that's a very important distinction. We know that abuse comes in many forms, but if a person feels that their health and well-being, their life or their lives of their children are in danger, they should still leave and reach out to Baldwin House, and correct?
Absolutely. Reach out to us, and in cases of emergency, absolutely call 911 if you're in fear of your life or those of your children.
When we talk about all this time of self-isolation, we know that reaching out to our neighbors is important. So if somebody does happen to see or feel that a neighbor or a friend might be experiencing domestic violence, what is your advice for them while staying safe to help out and reach out?
Well, the best thing you can do is try to make sure people know the resources. If you see something, say something. It's a little bit harder now because, you may not want to intervene and kind of break that social isolation, that social distancing, but at least trying to make sure people have that information, whether it's sending them a link to our website or our Facebook page or sending them just our phone number so people know that we're here, was probably the easiest way to help right now.
All right, so we know that, as you've alluded to a couple of times, that the processes at Maison Baldwin House have changed a bit because of this, but obviously there's still a need in the community. So how can people help out Maison Baldwin House at this time?
Sure. So usually we ask for donations from the community, of household goods and clothing and things like that. Currently, we've temporarily stopped accepting donations just because, the science is continually evolving on how long coronavirus is lasting on surfaces. So we've stopped accepting those donations, but we are currently accepting financial donations to support the shelter via EMT or PayPal, and the instructions for both of those methods can be found on our website, baldwinhouse.ca. People can also support the shelter by purchasing gift certificates to Serendipity Boutique, which is our social enterprise. Those can be purchased online via Kelly Bergeron's amazing site, which is cornwall-gift-certificates.ca. You can purchase those for Serendipity, and that money supports the shelter. We're also accepting gift certificates to other local grocery stores and shops. We're still accepting donations of perishable and non-perishable food items, just nothing that's been prepared. So, stuff that's actually coming from the store. Last week, actually, on Friday, we received several fresh veggie baskets donated by individuals who purchased them from Truffles, who had partnered with Panier du Fermier to deliver fresh produce within SC&G.
Oh, wow, that's excellent. And just finally, talk to me about the importance of that money, that donations coming in, especially right now. How important is that money for the shelter and for the residents?
It's incredibly important. So, Serendipity Boutique is our social enterprise. That's what helps fund the shelter, and it helps us offset the deficit that we face annually. Ahead of the state of emergency declared by the province, we chose to close our doors for the safety of our shoppers and our volunteers. But that money lost coming into the shelter will have a big impact, especially as we know we're going to be seeing that increase. After this whole situation is gone. So really, if people want to support us, honestly, financial donations are probably the best way to do that right now, just to make sure that we're able to continue providing the level of service that we always have.
Well, Danielle, I want to thank you very much for joining me, and best of luck to you and Maison Baldwin House during these difficult times.